Hello, my name is Samuel Kitchen, and here with me tonight are Sean, Tim and Bella. And we had the opportunity of undertaking internships with various think tanks and organisations throughout Canada, thanks to the incredible generosity of Mannkal, Ron Manners and the donors which are here or represented tonight. I wish to speak briefly about the experience I had at the Canadian Taxpayers Federation and why this adventure was so worthwhile. Now, I use the word adventure appropriately. As you'll hear tonight, many of us were placed in foreign locations: Canada, the US, Hong Kong, Nepal, Germany, Lithuania, London, New Zealand, and sometimes the place that can be the most foreign of all, Canberra. And we were set to discover their economies, their political environments, their cultures, and most importantly, what all of this meant in the context of Australia and ourselves. At the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, I was given a diverse range of tasks, which enabled me to learn much about not only their public sector, but their private sector also. One day I could be researching provincial tax schedules, the next analysing the costs and benefits of a federal infrastructure announcement. My experience at the Taxpayers Federation has instilled in me many things, but perhaps the most simplest of them all is the simple fact that the governments themselves have no money. Any spending which they make is done on behalf of the taxpayers with the taxpayers' dollars. For this reason, I believe that we would have a much more efficient, freer and fairer society if we were able to have the mature debate of whether government goals could be achieved better by the individual and the free market. As my good friend, which I met tonight, Maurice Rousseau, said today, he said, no matter what our persuasion, we all want a fair and just society. And so I think it's important that people like us are having these experiences. Just before I hand over to Sean, I wish to again thank Ron, Mannkal, and the donors for their generosity and their investment in shaping the future leaders which we see today.
Thanks to the generous support of Mannkal, I have spent the last 3 months interning at the Fraser Institute in Vancouver, Canada. A non-partisan think tank, the Fraser Institute publishes peer-review research into critical economic and public policy issues. My role here was within the Centre for Natural Resources, where I worked closely with Dr. Kenneth Green, a renowned mining commentator, analysing the changing landscape of international mining policy and their economic implications. The Centre for Natural Resources is author to one of Fraser's most anticipated and widely published reports, the Annual Mining Survey. This study ranks all the world's mining jurisdictions in terms of their attractiveness for investment and is a regular source of information to multinational companies when deciding their foreign investment strategies. To be exposed to this work environment and this project at the beginning of my career will be of substantial benefit. It is an extraordinary opportunity offered by the Mannkal-Fraser Partnership. I now cherish the Mannkal ethos and look forward to promoting the values of freedom and liberty in our wider community.
Hi, my name is Tim Goodier and I interned at the Atlantic Institute for Market Studies, or AIMS, in beautiful Halifax, Nova Scotia. Tonight I thought I would talk about how I believe I've grown in the 100 days that I spent in North America through my Mannkal experience. So firstly, confidence. I've always struggled with confidence, but I've been improving. It's hard to not grow in confidence when travelling alone as you're thrown into any number of difficult circumstances. And I can definitely say I faced my fair share of my time in America. I now feel comfortable public speaking, networking, and most importantly, comfortable recognising my strengths and weaknesses. I owe this improvement not only to my travels, but to my time spent in the AIMS office, where I was given opportunities to step outside my comfort zone and work on interesting tasks. Secondly, perspective. Throughout my travels, I learnt the stories of many people, from Youngmi Park, a North Korean defector turned libertarian, to Julie Keating, a healthcare policy analyst with the Nova Scotia government who I met on a flight to Montreal. Conversing with new people has given me a greater understanding of the issues facing the world and put these issues facing Australia into a global perspective. And finally, attitude. I've stepped outside my comfort zone and now there's no going back. I don't want to live safe, I want to accept challenges and push myself to constantly improve. Those, I believe, are the 3 most significant attributes that I improved and developed through my Mannkal experience.
My name is Isabella Hancock and I've just returned from Ottawa where I completed an internship at the Institute for Liberal Studies. The Institute for Liberal Studies is an educational charity dedicated to encouraging the discussion of classical liberal ideas amongst Canadian university students. It does this through organising events ranging from one-hour lectures to multi-day conferences to Socratic seminars, which aim to gather a group of passionate students into a room to discuss a set of readings. My main role at the Institute for Liberal Studies was to help organise these events, and I was lucky enough to attend and participate in them too. Some of the highlights included travelling to Toronto for the both the Law and Freedom Conference and the Freedom and Global Development Conference, and hearing from Professor of Public Policy Paul Robinson on the folly of military intervention at McGill University in Montreal. Listening to such a diverse range of speakers was both informative and eye-opening, and the events allowed me to meet like-minded students from across Canada. In my final week in Ottawa, I was joined by Sam, Tim and Sean for a 3-day program organised by Mannkal and the Institute for Liberal Studies. We toured Parliament, had a range of meetings from individuals involved in the political process, and on our final day we took part in a discussion group covering 4 key topics: surveillance, intellectual property, immigration and military intervention. Here we were able to apply our newfound understanding to freedom to controversial issues affecting not only Canada but also Australia. Lively debates certainly ensued. This internship has instilled in me a greater understanding of free market ideas. I have returned to Perth with new inspiring friends, both in this room tonight and across on the other side of the world. Thank you, Mannkal, for giving me this opportunity to learn, travel, and engage more deeply with global issues. It has broadened my horizons more than I could have imagined.
Speaking on behalf of all the North American scholars here tonight and absent, I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude. We've all felt excited, overawed and privileged by the opportunities this scholarship has afforded us. And for that reason, I want to thank Mr. Ron Manners, the Mannkal team and all the generous donors here tonight. I would next like to introduce a video showing the experiences of the domestic scholars. Thank you.